Welcome back. If you remember, a couple of videos ago, we showed why and explained why most RPM calculations are wrong and showed how to calculate them correctly. We're going to do the same on this video for speed. Enjoy. So let's get right into it. Let's recall a very small clip from the previous video about the physics of a ball going down the lane real quick. We release the ball, giving it some kinetic energy. It usually drops in oil and skids. And it also rotates, because we also gave it some spin, some angular kinetic energy. But since it is on oil and friction is minimal, the ball moves pretty much on a straight line. But then, gradually it encounters higher friction, so some of the linear kinetic energy is transformed to rotational energy. So this makes the ball decelerate, and at the same time it spins faster. So as you may have guessed, our real speed is our launch speed. The speed that the ball has when it comes off our hand, and everything else is a speed that varies according to several conditions. So let's say we have our launch speed, and then we have the speed of the ball when it is at the pins. Let's call that entry speed, because that's when it enters the pocket. Now the entry speed is going to be significantly lower than our launch speed. Check out this spectrograph. You see here launch speed 17.5 miles per hour, but then entry speed 13.1, big difference. In this other one we see the speed dropped half a mile in the first part of the lane, 1 mile per hour in the mid lane, and nearly 5 miles per hour on the back end, a total of roughly 6 miles per hour, on a launch speed of 20.4. That's approximately 30% speed loss. So our launch speed is determined by us. If we are consistent, it's pretty much the same. It is only determined by what we do, by the movement of our feet, or our swing, or whatever. Our entry speed at the pins, though, is not determined by us. It's determined by several other factors like ball cover stock, ball surface, oil volume, oil pattern, topography of the lane, lane surface material, ball core. So in order to communicate better and be on the same page, we should always refer to our launch speed. That is the speed that we impart on the ball at the release. And that's important because speed is the other factor that we use to characterize a player as speed dominant, rev dominant, or matched, in order to select equipment, surfaces, lane strategy, etc. So now I'm going to show you the method. It's not as easy as the automated methods or the tables that we showed earlier, but it's far more accurate. It has some math, but I have condensed. I have squeezed it all in one simple formula, so then you can just use that. Okay, don't be afraid, the formula was larger in the beginning. So we have our launch speed that equals 15 multiplied by a fraction.
And on this fraction, on the numerator, we have the camera frame rate. This is of course the frames per second that your device used to capture the video. It could be 30 frames per second, 60 frames per second, 24, 120, whatever the case may be. Then on the denominator we have the frames to reach the arrow. So how many frames it took for the ball from the release to reach the center arrow or the third or fifth arrow, which you're going to count frame by frame with some application or your video editor or whatever you have. And this will give you your speed in feet per second. But if you want to have it directly in miles per hour, then you can multiply by this number, 0.681818, and you have it directly in miles per hour. Easy. And if you want it in kilometers per hour, then you multiply by 1.09728, and you're done. The USPC specifications manual mentions that the arrows can be placed anywhere between 12 to 16 feet from the foul line. Some schematics show that the center arrow is at 15 feet, while others show that the third and fifth arrow are at 15 feet. To avoid large errors, it's better to count frames until the ball is between the third and fourth arrow. Or if you really want to be 100% precise, just measure your bowling alley's arrow distance yourself. So let's visualize it with a photo. It helps remember it better. So here at release we have our true speed, which is our launch speed. This also happens to have the highest value, always. Then at the pins we have the enter speed. This is always the lowest value. Often I see it be around 30% lower than the initial speed that you give the ball. And then what 99% of people is using, just because it's easier, not correct, is the average speed for the specific conditions that the shot was made, which is affected by oil volume, oil pattern, topography, ball core, ball cover stock, and ball surface. Too many variables. Not good for measuring our speed. It's okay if you want to know just if you are slow, medium or high speed, but it offers very little more than that.
So if you're a bowler, now you can use this method and exactly calculate your speed. And if you're not a bowler, what are you doing here? And if you're a coach, you can also use this method to categorize your students, your athletes, into the correct matched speed dominant, rev dominant category, and help them accordingly. The creator of the Bowling App Toolkit is already interested in my RPM calculating method, and he might incorporate it in the app in the future. So I hope he can incorporate this one as well and make the app even better. So that's the experience points for today. I hope you liked the video, and if you want to help me make more of them, you can subscribe, like, share the video, or even donate with one of the 3 methods mentioned in the description. Thank you, and see you on the next one.